Yes, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. It's another video. It's another starting 11 prediction. The games are coming thick and fast this month. They have been for a long time now. It's another midweek game, this time against Dundee United, who are doing well in the league. So it's a big game for us. Want to follow that win up against St Mirren at the weekend, the 3-0 with another victory. It's all about building back a good run of form now, a good run of wins after that defeat at Ibrox. We obviously extended the gap at the weekend again, which was really good. As many people thought, Rangers were going to drop points after the game. They've shown that they can be that type of team that sort of turn up for the odd game, but they've really lacked consistency and their away form's been terrible. So it was really nice that we could capitalise on that at the weekend, get the gap back to 13 points. That means that for all the troubles and the poor performance at Ibrox, we're only 1 point worse off than we were before we went into that game. So again, a really strong position for us, and it's just about continuing with this run of form again at home. You want to go and win well at home, but I expect Dundee United to make it difficult for us in terms of their form. They've obviously been doing well. They've moved up to third now in the league. They did get beat in their last game, obviously the 1-0 defeat to Hearts at Tannadice, but before that they were 3 wins on the spin against St Johnstone, Aberdeen and Dundee. So they've been doing really, really well. Jim Goodwin's got them well organised. We saw that in the game at Tannadice where they held us to the 0-0 draw. I think they're one of the few teams to take points from Ibrox as well. So you know how they'll be set up away from home in a game like this, and it's going to be down to the players to play at the right tempo and play at the right speed in order to get a win tomorrow night. As I say, a big game for us, and we're looking to see the team in really good shape. Looking back at that St Mirren team, I went for a few changes and I was only one out, and would you believe it, it was left back. Every time I put Valle in at left back, Taylor plays, and every time I put Taylor in, Valle plays. That's been the theme for the last month or so now, but I thought I'd nailed it with McCowan in midfield, Engels coming back in, Ida up front. I got all of those right, but I did get the left back wrong. So at least you know when I go through this one today, whoever I put at left back, he's the player that's not going to play in that position tomorrow. So let's start in goals then. Like we always do with Casper Schmeichel, again, back to another game there. We had very little to do. Again, he's looking for the defence and the team in front of him to have that intensity and really keep the ball away from his 6 yard box. The back four, I'm going Johnston, Carter Vickers, Trusty again to keep his place after his first goal for the club against St Mirren. And as I say, the left back, the one I keep getting wrong, I'm going Taylor. I think Trusty at centre half, I expect him to get a run of games now. He obviously had that wee run up to the cup final, came off at half time, as I said, at the weekend, and then he has been seen since. I thought there was one or two cobwebs there. You could see that in his distribution, his passing at times. He had that one in the second half where he just goes simple right footed pass back to Schmeichel and he hits it out for a corner. One or two shaky moments like that. But I do expect him to get a run now, and I expect those two to try and build some sort of partnership in that position. As I said to Martin in the full time reaction, and I got the guy's thoughts on it. Centre half's not ordinarily one of those positions that you want to keep chopping and changing in. I think that's something Brendan Rodgers has said in the past as well, that it's not an area that you want to constantly be making rotation. I know he has done that throughout the course of this season in numerous positions, given the number of games, given the depth in the squad, and it's worked to good effect. I just expect those two to get a run together and try and form a bit of a partnership going forward. And again, we're looking forward to the big games coming. That young boys game, Aston Villa at the end of the month. We're going to need a really strong defensive partnership in there at centre half. And midfield, going McGregor, Engels and Bernardo. I did manage to get Luke McCowan right. I thought he was decent on the day actually. You know what you're getting from him, always good energy, a lot of tenacity, good on the ball. I just think Bernardo might come back in again. I think the manager will continue that theme of rotation. And I think Engels in the last 3 home games has probably been the best player on the pitch. And again, we've been talking about it after every game that he's played recently. The set piece delivery is a real threat for us. We've scored multiple goals from corners now this season. He found Trusty again with a brilliant in-swinging delivery against St Mirren. That's a real asset for him, and it's becoming a real asset for Celtic. And again, you go back through previous years, we've bemoaned the lack of goals from corners, and most of the time that comes down to really poor delivery. I know he had one or two against St Mirren that maybe didn't clear the first man, but generally his delivery has been very, very good, and I think he deserves his place in the team. He's another one I'd like to see get a run, try and really nail down that place as we move forward into these bigger games. We know there's a lot of growth and development in him, but he's going to need those minutes as a young player, still learning the game. So I think Engels will keep his place and Bernardo will come back in, I think, because I think Bernardo obviously that's been the way of his season. He's been in and out from time to time. Really good player. I think obviously he had a poor day at Ibrox like everybody else, but I think he might come back into the starting lineup for this one tomorrow. Front three, go Nicholas Kuhn. If we were to do a player in focus, it would be Nicholas Kuhn. He gets 2 goals again against St Mirren. I think he's somewhere around 14 goals and 13 assists so far this season, nearly 30 goal contributions in the month of January, which is an incredible return. He's such a key player for us. I actually think it's not over-reliance, of course it's not, but I think if we were to lose him, it would be a real blow for us in terms of creativity, both making goals and scoring goals. You look at the form of the strikers, Kyogo, who's on 8 goals, Ida just a couple behind them. None of those two have really been prolific, and yes, that's maybe down to the style. I know that wingers are always a key part of Brendan Rodgers' teams, but Kuhn is contributing a hell of a lot of goals, and if we were to lose him through injury, I think there would be a big drop-off for us, and I think, again, that's why the club should look at the wide positions in this January transfer window. I'm just going to go Maeda. I thought Yang might come in and start and Maeda could get a wee rest. I just don't think a team like Dundee United, who are doing so well, currently sitting third in the table, is a game that allows Brendan Rodgers the luxury to rest somebody like Maeda and bring somebody like Yang in. Now, centre forward, I'm going back to Kyogo. I got it right at the weekend with Ida starting. I know a few of you in the comments would like to see Ida get a run of games. I just don't think he's doing quite enough to deserve that run of games where you think, you know what, you're proving to the manager that Kyogo needs a spell on the bench now and you're the man to go forward. And again, I think it's a position that Brendan Rodgers is comfortable to rotate. And I think, again, you get really different outputs from them. I think Ida, for all people say that Kyogo's peripheral, I think Ida's been a bit peripheral in the games as well. And again, that's maybe owing to the style. But I think the attributes of both players are totally different. We know that. Ida's a much better physical presence. Kyogo likes to play in the shoulder and find the spaces, and it's all about movement for him. I just think Kyogo's going to come back in and start this game, and no doubt we'll see Ida off the bench, as we always do. Whoever starts, the other one seems to get around 30 minutes more often than not. So that's 11 I think Brendan Rodgers is going to go with. Tomorrow, you can let me know if there's any areas across the pitch that you disagree with. Really looking forward to a midweek game tomorrow at Celtic Park. Let's hope we can get another big 3 points. Like this video, comment your own thoughts on the team below. Please don't forget to subscribe already, and we'll see you outside the ground with full-time reaction tomorrow. Thank you.